up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Team Chat Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jerrett Wilson, joined by Rachel Mogan.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno to you as well. And my beautiful bride, Samantha White-Wilson.
Hey, everybody.
How's it all going, everybody?
It's very rainy and dark outside, and I'm very sad.
It's
Weird.
gross. It's gross outside. The weather's terrible.
Sleepy day.
It is a sleepy day. But what's not sleepy is our conversation on video games that we will be having here on Team Chat Podcast, a weekly video game show where we talk about the games we love, the games we hate, and everything in between. New episodes come out Tuesdays, 9 a.m. Central Time, and you can listen to those on podcast services around the World Wide Web, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and others. You can also watch a video version of each episode on our YouTube channel. Head over to youtube.com/TeamChatPodcast to check those out. You can find us on other social media such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can join our Discord server. Links for all that are in the description below. And finally, what is Kitty doing? What is he doing?
He just found a leaf.
All right.
He's just eating stuff.
The podcat, adopting that.
Cords and such.
That name. He's he just got very curious around something around my desk, but it's all good. But anyway,
a leaf.
Okay, cool. A little snack for him. But if you would like to help us make the show bigger and better, you can head over to patreon.com/teamchatpodcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you can support the show. And in return, we'll give you cool perks like getting the episodes early before the general Tuesday release, access to a private channel on our Discord server, and our new show that we're putting out for our patrons called Team Chit Chat, where we talk about things outside of video games, so you can hear our thoughts and opinions on other stuff other than the wonderful games that we like to play. But if you can't do that, that's no big deal. We totally appreciate you being here listening to the show. We just ask that maybe you shoot us a review, tell your friends, share us on social media, all that fun stuff, because that also can help us make the show bigger and better. But thank you all for watching and listening. Before we get into the main topic of the day, we do have to do our Moment with Mogan to find out all the news and other games that are coming out soon.
Yes, so in case you missed it, out now, you already have Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind for PlayStation 4. You have Mosaic for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath HD, also for Switch. Rugby 20 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners for PC only. And then coming very soon, on January 28th, we have Journey to the Savage Planet. I don't know what that is, but it sounds extreme. That's for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Also on January 28th, Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition, that weird game that we talked about recently. It's Ice Road Paranormal Ghost Truckers, but not really. Anyways, that one's for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire comes out for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on Jan 28. So does Warcraft 3 Reforged for PC. And then closing out the end of the month, we have Through the Darkest of Times through PC on January 30th. That's everything that is out now and coming soon.
Very nice, very nice. So I wanted to really quick, before we jump into the other topics,
Wait,
What?
you told me video game news today. You're not going to talk about it?
Oh, that's
The
right.
thing that you just mentioned
no,
at
it's a different thing. It's a different
me.
thing that I messaged her about.
That
'cause
maybe
it's
you wouldn't normally talk about on here, but since I'm here.
That's right. I forgot about
should.
that. That Overcooked 2 announced that they are having Year the Rat seasonal update. And so all of that stuff is dropping on the 24th, I believe. So it should be already out for everybody. So it'll be some more extra levels, some fun
We'll be playing
new
it this
chefs.
weekend
we'll
for
definitely
sure.
be playing it this weekend for sure. Trying to 3-star, possibly 4-star all those levels,
Wait.
question mark?
Aren't the rats in Overcooked bad?
Usually, but they might be different this time.
I
I wonder if you
wonder
actually
what-
get, I bet you might get, I wonder
I
if they're
wonder
giving
if
out like
since
a
it's
rat
their
chef.
event, if they're just like super powered.
I bet there is a rat chef.
I bet there's a new rat chef.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
really fun too. But the other news that I was going to talk about that was just also announced today is that Ninja Theory came out and announced their new game that they're going to be working on called Project Mara, which looks, all they did is they released just a little quick teaser video, which I think is really cool because it's a teaser video, but it's definitely just shot in their studio. It uses just like footage of their going down their hallways, this really impressive staircase they have in their office and everything, some close-up shots of some text saying things like Mara, mental, fear, different
Very
things
found
like this.
footage.
Very found footage, exactly. And then the ending shot is who I can assume is Mara, played again by Melina Juergens, who's also the mocap actress for Senua in Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice and the upcoming Senua's Saga, or Hellblade 2, is, I'm assuming, being Mara, and it's in a dark room, very close up on her face, again, very found footage-esque, and from the darkness beside her comes this almost undead zombie-esque face. But so what they did is this was part of a new overall project that Ninja Theory is focusing on to bring and interact games and connect games with the study of mental health more completely and developing games that focus on that. So that is what Mara is about. Is what they call it, a grounded depiction of mental terror. And so it'll be interesting to see how that comes together. But as far as this too, they also announced that this is like the main drive and the main purpose of their studio. Since they're finishing up their upcoming title, Bleeding Edge, they're going to move and rotate to focus onto these other games that depict this. And they're teaming up with mental health experts and scientists and everything to help make these realistic, grounded depictions of, like in Hellblade's, in the case of Hellblade, like mental psychosis, and in this case, mental terror. So it'll be interesting to see how these come apart. But they're announcing it with this new tagline or their new mission statement, which is in a YouTube video that is a new series that they're doing on YouTube called the Dreadnought Diaries. You can check it out over on their YouTube channel. But their new, basically, mission statement is, if the play and pause button will go away. Nope, not too fast. Here we go. Let me try this one more time. But I encourage everybody to go watch this. This is okay, YouTube app.
While he's working on that, Dreadnought is actually the title that they gave themselves for their respective little teams, because basically Ninja Theory's developers are all kind of split into little teams working on their own separate projects, and collectively they're called the Dreadnought, which coincidentally is an excellent level from Mario Galaxy.
Oh.
Available for the Wii and in stores everywhere circa 2008.
What a weird ad.
All right, it's hard to do on. There we go. Okay, their new mission statement is to craft life-changing art with game-changing tech, because they're talking about how they're really, like I said, really partnering up with all these different mental health experts and scientists to really create something special, and to not only, and it's kind of one of those things that we talked about when we started this podcast, is talking about the art of the video game and everything, and putting it together, of how they're combining it and giving it a deeper meaning and message than just, here's a story in here and play it. And so it's to help people understand the different intricacies and types of mental illnesses that people might face.
And they obviously didn't mention anything at this time about like consoles or what platforms this new project is going to be available for. My theory for the future, I think it's going to be VR. I think whatever they're working on is probably going to be VR.
That's a very good
terrifying
call.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be for circa PS5 and Xbox Scarlet.
I bet you're right, actually, because I saw in the video in the episode 1 of the Dreadnought Diaries, you actually see one of their developers and everything working with a VR headset. So I bet you're right.
Definitely
it will
VR.
definitely be Microsoft exclusive, as far as, at least at first, since they are owned by Ninja Theory is owned by Microsoft now. Yeah. But that is a very good call. I bet you're right, too.
Yeah, I'm right. And that would be arguably one of the better uses of VR.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's
you can
probably,
get some really trippy stuff with that.
If I'm right, I think that's one of the few games that I would actually be interested in experiencing in VR.
Yes. So, you may all be wondering, why is Sam here today? Well, that's because she has brought with us a review of Yoshi's Crafted World.
Whoa.
She's played through the whole thing. Has some thoughts on that.
Not quite.
Okay, not quite. Oh, you're like on the last boss.
Yeah, I haven't beat the
right?
last boss yet.
Okay, little caveat there.
Well, sorry, you have to go.
You can't be here today.
You sold us a bill of goods, and now you have to make good on them.
But before we jump into that, though, for our first little bit of our main topic, Mogan wanted to share some recent thoughts or updates that she hopes would come to Animal Crossing Pocket Camp as we build up towards the release of Animal Crossing New Horizons.
So this is actually things that have already all happened in Pocket Camp. And it's really just because when I switched my phone, like May of last year, and I actually bothered to get a new phone, my Nintendo account for Animal Crossing Pocket Camp was linked to my old phone, and I forgot to officially unlink it and delete it from my old phone, so that I was never able to link Animal Crossing Pocket Camp on my new phone to maintain my account. And I was like, oh, I'm so
you
sad
lost
about
everything?
that. So I
That's
lost
a thing?
everything.
Oh, man.
I can still technically go back and get it, but it's such a hassle that I was like, you know what? I'm all Pocket Camped out right now. So I left it alone for months and months and months, and then just here very recently I started over from scratch just because I was bored. I think I was waiting at the Department of Public Safety to get my new driver's license, and I was like,
love that you
I'm
just
really
spelled out
bored.
DPS for us.
Well, no, not everybody knows what that is. Anyway, so I re-downloaded Pocket Camp and I was playing it anew. It's been many months that it's been out. It's been out for over about a year and a half now, I want to say, total. And they have made a lot of updates since I last touched it. So this probably isn't news to anybody else, but it was news to me. And I just kind of wanted to run through some of the things that they updated and or added that I think are excellent quality of life adjustments.
So before, really quick, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
How dare
But
you.
before we jump into those things, can you give a brief overview of what Pocket Camp is and how it differs from like the normal Animal Crossing
Yes,
games?
of course. So Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is specifically Animal Crossing just for mobile. So it's for iOS and Android and I guess any other mobiles that are out there. Probably not. I think there's just the two. But anyways, it's more or less a super pared down version of Animal Crossing. It very much has the aesthetic of Animal Crossing. You still play as an air quotes mayor, I want to say, but you're actually a camp manager because the context is you've been given a campsite to manage, and how you manage it is by inviting people to come and stay at your campsite and providing them with amenities, decorating everything, making sure that they feel like very at home in their outdoor surroundings. So the villagers are all, of course, still your Cast O creatures that have been present in many of the past Animal Crossing games, and that's the gist.
Boom.
So basically you play by interacting with I'm going to call them villagers, even though I think the game calls them campers, but whatever. They're your animal critter friends. You interact with them to get stuff, to make stuff, to get more stuff, to make more stuff, and that's kind of the endless cycle of the game. So it really is just resource management and endless derping around. It's kind of like a farming sim, but not really.
Uh-oh.
But all animals, no people.
You're the only human person. Everyone
Weird.
else is animals.
That's weird.
But
Like
any-
you're God.
Yeah, kind of. But you can encounter other actual players in the world who all have their avatars, and those can show up in your various islands. So you can have like a friend list with other players who are obviously other people.
And can't you go visit their camps?
You
or is
can.
that,
You can go
okay.
visit other people's camps. They can come and visit yours. The hot new thing that's part of the update is that you can set a fave photo from your own camp to share with all your friends. And basically, it's just a way of showing off, like, look at this new shit I just put out. Haha! Don't you feel poor now?
That just makes me want to go farm again. I
Yeah,
haven't
actually,
farmed in a
you
while.
would probably love Animal Crossing.
Oh, I'm sure. That's why I haven't ever downloaded
and
it.
when New Horizons does come out, obviously that is, I will drop Pocket Camp like old dirt. No offense, but just obviously
The new
real,
shiny thing is
real
here. Why
Animal
would you keep with
Crossing
that?
trumps Pocket Camp in every way, shape, and form. But in the meantime, to slake your thirst for Animal Crossing, there are some fantastic ways to get that fix, and they're more convenient than ever. Thanks to, and this is probably my favorite one, Pete's Delivery Service.
Oh.
So Pete the Pelican is your friendly mail deliveryman from from many of the previous Animal Crossing games. The delivery service is basically so before this update, in the past, when you had to take animal requests, they would say like, oh, I want some coconuts, I want a bug, I want a fish. And you had to be present in their current location in order to take their request and give them whatever it was that they wanted. And in return, they would give you crafting materials back. So there are 4 locations, well, really 5 locations in the game that where this occurs. There's one that's like the river, there's the forest, there's the island, and there's the beach. And you had to physically like go to the map, click on each area, go to that area, interact with the animal, go to the next area, interact with them. And it was just a lot of jumping around and a lot of loading times. So the big, massive update, at least in my opinion, that makes this so much more livable is that with Pete's Delivery Service, you can just click on Pete on the map, and then a list pulls up of all of the animals in the area, and it will show you, do I have the items for this one's request? Yes? Cool, have Pete deliver. And you can just cycle through as many as you want until you're out of requests. And it is honestly the best thing that could have happened in the game.
Because that would cut down on a ton of
It
just travel.
saves you so much travel, so many clicks. It's just so much faster than how it used to be. The only downside to this is that if you have Pete deliver items, you can't like just have a casual chit chat with the animal that's at, the island, for example. And by talking to animals and by fulfilling their requests is how you raise their friendship level. But eventually, once you get to a certain point in the game, you're not really in the market to raise friendship levels because you've already maxed them out. What you do need is endless crafting materials. So the ability to just not instantly, but very rapidly cycle through those requests, get your rewards, everybody's happy, you get to go craft stuff. That is a massive quality of life improvement. So
Takes out the social bullshit.
takes out the fake social bullshit. So kudos to you, Pete the Pelican. We love you. They added a new minigame that is like really adorable. So they added this miniature Happy Home Designer mode.
Okay.
So of course, Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer is one of the newer entries for the Nintendo 3DS. It didn't get as popular as Animal Crossing New Leaf did, but it was still a really well-received title and gave people more Animal Crossing to basically tide them over until the next formal entry. So they added like this mini Happy Home Designer mode where you can just click on it and like various critters from around your camp will be like, decorate a room for me using shit you already have. And you're like, okay, whatever. I'll just plop some things down and we'll see how it goes. And it's just like a fun little way to use stuff you already have and get money. I think that's the only thing that you're there for.
Making money's great.
You get money for it. And like, I think you get, it appears to be, I think it's a crafting material. It's like home powder. It comes in a little red bag and it has a house on it. I don't know what the game actually
Home
calls
powder.
it because I've never looked at it that closely.
Home powder. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's what the kids call it
Don't
these
worry
days.
about it. So, yeah, it's basically just a smaller version of Happy Home Designer. Obviously, very pared down still, but it can be used to craft special items and reissue items. And reissue items is the next thing on my list of excellent quality of life adjustments. So, obviously, the game is still relatively new in terms of the lifespan of an Animal Crossing game. So, it was a really nice surprise to see that in Holiday 2019, items that you had missed from Holiday 2018, for example, event items that were for a limited time, were available again, and you could craft them by using reissue materials, obviously money, and whatever other materials they normally need.
Nice.
So they're really not any cheaper. It's just nice to see that they brought those items back so that you could continue to make them if you had missed anything from the previous years. And obviously that idea of reissue items applies to really kind of all of the events that they've held in the past. So very happy to see reissue items. This is the biggest one probably. Gardens and gifting garden event items to other players has been made so much easier.
Okay, so it's something you could do before.
This is something that you could still do before, but this is one of the features that is basically person to person. So if I wanted to get all of the event items in a garden event, which is where you go to your garden, you grow flowers, some sort of special fancy bug shows up at your garden when your flowers bloom, and you catch the bugs, and then you trade the bugs in for stuff.
Oh.
Don't ask me why. I don't know what happens to the bugs after that. I assume they die. They are maybe ground up to make the shit that you're getting in return.
Their house powder.
Their house powder.
That's
They're
what
probably
the
the
house
house
powder
powder.
You're probably
Don't
right.
look too closely into it, everybody. But the point is that in the past, when you went to your garden, if you wanted to then go to somebody else's garden to help them by watering their plants and gifting them bugs that you had an excess of, you had to physically click on them, go to their garden, and then manually click on their flowers to give them like one bug at a time. And it just took forever.
It's too many steps.
And like you wanted to help people because when you help other players, you do get stuff in return. You get like more seeds for your garden, or you get friendship powder. Don't look too close into that.
Powder?
Yes, so don't worry about it.
What's friendship powder?
It's the powder you get from being friends. Obviously.
You just get it from your local
Okay.
friendship powder
Just
dealers.
get it from your local friendship powder
Do they
dealer.
ever explain what these things are?
No, of course not. It's
Okay.
Animal Crossing. Anyway,
You're
so
supposed to accept it as a way
the
of life.
point is that you
in
had
the
a
camps.
definite incentive to do this, but the means to do it was very time consuming and just annoying. So much like with Pete's delivery service, what they've done is they've moved that process to when you're in your garden, if you click on the social button from within the garden, it just pulls up your friend list, and right from the friend list you can see, does this player need flowers watered does this player have the ability to accept more bugs right now? And if yes, you just get to click on them, and then it'll bring up a list of like, oh, well, you've got these 4 butterflies. How many do you want to give to the player? And you can basically just gift in bulk. And all you have to do is hit a little plus sign and then hit OK, and it sends them bugs to presumably be ground up and turned into materials. Unknown.
Powders.
Powders.
So is that not something you were doing before, really? Because it was too much of a pain?
It was too much of a pain, so only...
I wonder if nobody was doing it. That's why they changed it.
No, they definitely were, but I was only doing it for people on my friends list that I was like, okay, I'll actually like bother to give them some stuff because I know they need it. It was also just annoying to try and figure out when they were able to accept items because you had to like pull up their actual page and see, can this player receive items? Whereas now you see it all in an instant from the friend list. So that update is super convenient, and it makes these gardening events, which are really common, a lot easier to actually achieve. So reissue items, gardening events, pizza delivery service, and miniature happy home mode are 4 updates that I think are fantastic.
Very nice. So how's Pocket Camp been out now? It's like 3 years?
I would say it's been about 2 years.
Okay.
I can't remember it coming out 3 years ago. Sounds
I want to say it
pretty
was
long.
maybe like 2017. I'm going to do a quick
But we're
little
only
Google.
just into 2020, so
Hey,
that would
Alexa.
technically be 2
Yeah.
years. No, don't get the robot in this. Now, while you look that up, I do want to take a minute to highlight 2 things, well, really one overarching thing
Okay.
about Pocket Camp that I do hate and that I think is very unfortunate, but that is endemic to mobile games, which is the hyper emphasis on microtransactions.
Can't be a
I
mobile
love a
game without.
microtransaction.
So obviously I don't just want to give Animal Crossing a pass just because it's Animal Crossing, because the microtransactions and the incentive to use them and to actually basically pay to skip the line is incredibly annoying. So in my notes I wrote the entire game heavily favors microtransactions and or the use of leaf tickets, which are the in-game currency that in theory equates to real-life currency if you purchase leaf tickets with your real money. Events such as tourneys and garden events are much faster and easier to complete if you use leaf tickets than without them, and it often feels impossible to complete any given event in time, because they're timed events, unless you have a lot of spare time on your hands and very good time management to remember to log back into the game and do the items when the timer resets.
So you got to be like setting timers
You
on your
got to be
phone,
setting
reminders
timers,
and
you got to be
everything
really
jumping
watching
back
it.
in.
Alternatively, of course, if you use the leaf tickets, you basically just get to pay to skip all of that, or alternatively, really speed it up. And that entire model, and this is something that we're seeing a lot in video gaming at large, which is why it's not just for mobile games, it's for a lot of games, is that they will make things intentionally grindy to encourage you to use microtransactions and pay to get around that by sheer convenience. And I hate that. I think it's very scumbaggy, so I will never use your leaf tickets unless I manage to get them for free.
Which you can collect
You
some.
can get
right,
them,
in-
but it's definitely
free.
not enough to be able to get you through even really one event unless you had been saving for months.
Yeah.
So just overall, the presence of microtransactions and the prevalence of them in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is regrettable, because other than that, it is a fantastic mobile game. Arguably one of the better mobile games that I've ever played personally.
Not a free game, I take it?
It is free.
Oh.
Yeah, so
They make
aside
their
from
money from the
microtransactions,
microtransactions.
it's totally free. Yeah.
See?
That's how they
Related,
get you.
I got sucked into a mobile game either last week or a couple weeks ago because I got served an Instagram ad that was spot fucking on
No,
for
they
me.
got you,
Sorry.
Sam. You
I
shouldn't
didn't
have
mean to say
clicked
that.
on it.
I was so mad. It's
shouldn't have
exactly the
clicked
type of
on
shit I
it.
love and I get addicted to. But you can't keep going without microtransactions.
Oh,
they
really? It just
block
straight up
you
blocks
off
you
full
after a
stop.
certain
You
amount
just
of...
can't do anything else. You're done.
Oh, wow.
So I've debated deleting it and
You
downloading
should.
it again.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
But I looked for games similar and couldn't really find anything. So
What was it called again? I
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Actually, now that I think about it, I
don't want to get anybody else hooked on it. I get
don't
it.
give them any incentive. I actually forgot to put it in my notes, but there is actually a monthly paid plan for Pocket Camp. where you can pay
What
a
now?
monthly. Yeah, it's like a subscription basically, where you
Yeah.
can pay a monthly fee, and in return you get all of these exclusive perks for Pocket
Well,
Camp.
sure.
And it's like, yeah, you'd better be getting some serious perks, but also, why do I have to pay for them? Never.
I mean, to be fair, we also offer a subscription service in a way with our
Yes,
Patreon,
but
you
we're
also get the
producing
loving, the warm fuzzies in your heart knowing that
That's
you're
not
helping
the same
us.
thing at all.
I know it's not,
the same.
but no, it's one of those things. I mean, everything's kind of going to subscription based stuff, like especially with the Game Pass Ultimate, and stuff like that for Xbox and all that stuff like that. I would expect we're going to see more subscription based services coming to games in general as another form of this microtransaction. But again, it's up to you to choose to pay for those or not. But
I just also want to fight about them being called microtransactions, because in this game there was even
macro.
one where you get like 100 so-and-sos for $2.99, and you can do like 1,000 so-and-sos for $4.99, all the way up to $100 worth.
Oh, that's every game.
And it of course is like best value. Come on, man.
It's a
$100,
scam.
that ain't a
All a
microtransaction.
scam.
yeah, that's a
Because you know
straight
what?
up
I would go
purchase.
through that $100 worth of whatever's in a heartbeat.
like that.
Well, it's like that the game that I Blake play so much, Apex Legends. They do the same thing. You can buy their in-game currency for $100. I have not done that.
Really? But it's like a real legit video game.
Yeah, they're in.
This
real
is like a dumb
microtransactions
little-
things are. This is why we
is
get so
silly.
heated about it, is because these are existing in these things. So you can go and use this money. You'll buy the $99 pack of coins and everything, and you'll use those to buy in-game like skins for your characters, skins for your weapons, and different stuff like that.
That's just dumb stuff. You don't even need it.
Right. And so you don't need it to play the game at all. It's just totally a cosmetic item if you want it or not.
But if you're a 10-year-old and you play and you don't have a cool skin, you will get bullied by
I mean,
the
I'll
other
say
kids.
there are some cool skins out there that I
Okay,
see
calm
come up,
down.
and I'm just like,
Calm
I'm
down.
like, man, I want that. But the thing is, you can go them super quick because, like in Apex Legends case, they're like $20 almost for a skin. and
That's
stuff like that.
Did you say
Insane.
foreskin?
No, for a
Gross.
skin.
Sam,
Oh man, I had another.
another foreskin
I
joke.
would much rather. No, sadly, no.
Not yet.
I would much rather just buy the game up front. Like, charge me $10 to play the game forever.
Yeah. Yes.
Instead of telling me it's free and then tell me I have to have $100 to go on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Horse shit.
that's why people get so mad about the microtransactions.
Oh, I deleted it already.
Good for you.
There
I'm
wasn't
proud of
anything
you.
else to do. But I might
proud of
re-download
you.
it, because don't you think that would reset it and I could start the game all over?
Maybe
If you make a
bet
new
so.
account,
yeah, you might have to do something new because it might be
I'm gonna
tied to
try.
your Apple ID in some way. But you can try it out for sure.
I'm gonna.
Okay,
I loved it.
all right.
It lasted one day.
I did look it up. 2017, October 25th, 2017 is when Pocket Camp came out.
so October 2017. So it's been about a year and a half then. Yeah.
Too.
I thought it was. Oh yeah, a little
We're
over
in
two.
2020,
We're in
guys.
You're
2020.
right.
That's right.
Right.
That's hard for me.
Keep
You know
getting
this.
very confused.
But now though, let's move on to talk about some Yoshi's Crafted
A
World.
game
so
that doesn't
excited
come with
about this.
microtransactions.
That's true.
Why didn't you put your Switch in my
Booyah.
hands?
To let you play while we're
could've.
recording.
I got it real close. It's just in my bag.
I'd rather listen to you paint me a picture with words.
I'm not super great at that. But I do have
Oh yeah, got a little Yoshi there.
a Yoshi.
Oh, look at that little Yosh.
That's actually how I told her that she got it, because I bought it for her for Christmas, but I bought it digitally for her, and I didn't want to just be like, here. So I wrapped up that Yoshi, even though she had actually bought it for me, I think.
Oh, really?
I don't remember. But anyway,
remember
you
either.
opened it, you were like,
No, you bought me this.
that's right, I did.
But I opened it like, you've already gifted me this. What is this bullshit
It's
about?
a re-gift.
it's a re-gift of a gift I already
I
gave
was so
you.
confused.
But so Yoshi's Crafted World is a wonderful little 2D, or no, actually 3D platformer, where you go around through the different worlds, and I'll let you take it over at this point, because I played the demo. That's really all I know.
Wait,
haven't
you
played
haven't
it
been
any
playing
since I
it
got
with
it?
her?
No, it's
Oh
on
my
it's on your
God.
Switch. So I just-
Are you guys
true.
like in trouble?
No.
Just checking.
We don't do everything
I
together.
just assumed.
I don't play Apex, whatever.
I'm usually playing Civ 6 on my Switch while she's playing Yoshi. So you know.
It's true. First of all, very cute. It is such a cute game, and kids would definitely like it. I didn't look at the age on it. Video
mean,
games
it's
have
E.
that, right? But
Yeah.
Does
it's
it
super
look like,
cute.
I keep getting confused in my head with the look of Yoshi's Woolly World, where he was made of yarn, but in this one he's made of like paper or clay.
Wait, is that a different game? Mm-hmm. That's the one I thought I was playing.
Oh,
There's
no.
two crafted.
No,
Yeah,
there's
so-
Yoshi's Whirly World, which came out
which
for
is the older one for the Wii U.
Wii U.
I have that one.
How old is that?
Wii U era, so it would be at least 3 years old by now.
4 years. Yeah, so there's another one out there.
It's probably
That's
4
what
years
I've-
old. Wow. Okay.
That's what you thought you were playing?
Anyways,
Yoshi's Crafted
I
World just
didn't
came out like
realize-
a year or so ago.
I didn't realize there were two.
We are
Oh, yeah.
in fact sure that Sam is playing Crafted
Yes,
World.
Oh, who knows?
I'm the one who purchased it. I know it's Yoshi's Crafted
Wait, so what
World.
is that game? Is it similar where you
It's
just...
very similar.
Okay.
But it's
Obviously
obviously
I need
older
it.
and
Yeah.
it looks different. So I guess I should Google it.
Do I have
myself.
what we play that on? Can I play this?
You do not. You don't have a
No,
Wii U.
we don't have a Wii U.
Yeah.
All right. Well, never mind.
They
then.
might port it at some point to the
Can I
Switch
see a
though, because they
picture?
did
Show
that
me a
with
picture,
Donkey Kong
please.
Tropical
Yes.
Freeze. That was a Wii U
Yoshi.
game, and they brought it over to the Switch. So they'll probably do the same thing. If they might do the same thing for it eventually. But no. So Yoshi's Crafted World though is like the name implies,
So
crafted.
in that game is everything.
That's Woolly
Oh my
World.
god, that's
And it's, like,
absolutely
all
what I
crocheted.
playing. Not that I thought that's what I was playing, but that I remember that. I just combined them in
combined
my
the two.
head
I mean,
and
they're-
thought there was only one.
They're similar in everything.
Well, this one, everything's made out of like junk. So you'll
Junk?
see, yeah, the whole point of the game is that there's a front side and a flip side. So there's certain little adventures and tasks you have to do on the flip side where it literally takes you behind the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see that stuff is made out of like a coffee can and like a Cheez-It box, covered in construction paper and glitter and stuff. Super cute. Everything is made out of just stuff.
Felt, by the way. Yoshi looks like he is made out of felt.
Oh, in this one.
Crafted
In this
World.
one. Oh,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
He looks
He's
like a
definitely
little
not
a
crocheted.
little fuzzy. He's not crocheted, but he looks like he's probably made out of a fine felt.
Can you pick your color of Yoshi in that one?
Yes, actually, you can get
love the
different
little things like that.
Like you can find little spools of yarn. That's what it is.
And change his
you
color?
can find spools of yarn and then change your Yoshi color using them. It's delightful.
It's super cute.
Can you do that in this game?
Well, you just pick at the start what color you want to be.
Oh,
And you,
I'm obviously yellow Yoshi.
that's what I was gonna say because you didn't go with green Yoshi. So what is the main point of the game?
I mean, it's just like any other. What's this kind of game called?
platformer.
Sure.
2D platformer.
Where there's different worlds, and each world has 3 or 4 levels, and then at the end there's a boss. At the end of each world there's a boss, and then at the very end there's a really big boss.
See, that seems wrong to me. Like Yoshi's Crafted World having violence in it and bosses.
No, it's not. It's not though, because it's
That
silly
seems
little
brutal.
things. Like it's not like a Mario where you're like bopping things on the head.
So what do you do to like beat the bosses then?
You eat Shy Guys and you spit them out. It's like little, I don't know if they're like fireballs or what.
Missiles.
But it's pretty cute. Well, they show up and you eat them and they turn into like Yoshi eggs behind you and then you shoot them at
Oh,
people.
it's like the aiming system from many Yoshi games.
Yeah.
I think they started that in Yoshi's Island, right? I think that's
I'm
where
not
that
sure.
system originates from. Anyways, continue.
But the story, I paid attention for once.
Was there a story?
I've already forgotten some of the details and names of things.
That's okay.
But there's 2 bad guys. One looks like Bowser, and I've already forgotten. Oh no, the other one is the guy. Oh,
Isn't it the magician or like the wizard guy?
maybe
Comic.
he's like in a cloud.
comic.
I don't remember something
oh,
like
wait,
that.
in a cloud. That's the other guy.
Or like
You guys, I might be
Lakitu?
remembering wrong. I don't.
Lakitu.
Lakitu?
Yes,
I'm
excellent
not great at
memory.
paying attention. But anyway, there's 2 of them, and they have like stolen something or broken something
Isn't
at the
it like
beginning.
I was watching.
Hold
it
on,
with,
I'm getting
sorry,
there.
Sorry.
And there's like 7 or 9 jewels that you have to put together, and they make a sun.
Oh, okay.
So you find the jewels and whatever.
To restore brightness to the world of the Yoshis.
Or stones or something. I don't pay attention to the details.
You just like to get to the gameplay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all I care about.
So what is the gameplay then?
So I don't really know how many worlds there are because again, I don't pay attention. But I've gotten all the way to the end. All I have to do is beat the last boss. I think you probably remember me saying at the beginning, like, "Oh, this is so easy. It'll be so quick to get through," and then it very quickly builds and is much harder. And the last boss, I
Really?
tried for like 3 hours and I have not beat
No
him yet.
kidding.
Yeah. So
is
I gave
it
up.
actually
Really ramps
hard,
up
or
that
if it just
difficulty.
No, it's not always that it's hard. In fact, one of my notes says that the bosses are hard to figure out. And I can't figure out what I'm supposed to do next. So I keep doing the same thing. And then I'm like, wait a second. This should have killed him by now. Obviously, I'm not doing something right.
Gotcha.
Is it like where like say where like their moves or whatever change after after you lower its health to a certain point? Because that's very common.
Usually
thing.
a boss is like you have to bop him on the head 3 times and
Right.
he's dead. This one is you have to bop him on the head once, but then everything changes. So now you have to do something totally different for the second thing.
I
And then your third kill is
see.
something else. And it's just been difficult figuring out what they are.
Is
I
he
get
made?
it.
Is he made of yarn? And do you have to like unspool him?
Sadly, no.
Oh,
that would be super
unfortunate.
cute. The map is kind of annoying.
So tell me more about the map, because you mentioned it before we started recording, and I was like, "What do you mean a map in a Yoshi game?"
Like any platformer game.
So it's
Like
like
the
an
world selection.
overworld map,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like in
yeah.
Mario's and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay.
But there's too much. Like it doesn't make linear sense. It goes in all different directions and I keep getting lost.
Huh.
There is like a zoom out function where you can hop to stuff, but it's too much. Give me a straight line so that I know where in the line I am. Much easier.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the front side versus flip side. So the main game you play on the front side, and you go through the whole thing and you get to the boss. And I waited until I got to that point to do anything else. 'Cause,
Really?
I just want to beat something, and then I'll go back and collect all the things. That's how I play.
Gosh, I would have done the exact opposite.
Same.
Would have played
That's how-
the B
that's-
Yeah,
sides
that's what he does.
immediately.
Yeah, I do all
Collect
the
all the
side
things
points,
as you go?
side
Yeah.
quests.
No, I can't. I don't care. I want to win first.
Oh, that's
and
crazy.
Then I want to collect all the
That's
things.
crazy talk.
Which is why we're not great when we play things together, because I want to like run through the level.
Yeah, and I'm trying
And
to find
you
all
are
like
trying
stop
to-
and find all
yeah,
the
get
secrets
coins
and stuff.
and
Like
stuff.
when we play the Mario one that we were just playing the other day.
Yeah,
Trying to get all like
I
the
just
main
want to run
coins.
through and win first.
Yeah.
And then let's go back. So there's lots of little things to collect and little adventures. So every level has the front side, which you can play normally, and then also has the flip side, which is literally the level backward, which is really fun and super confusing in some levels,
In like a 3D plane. So like if you're looking at a diorama and then you flipped it around to the backside, that's what you're talking about.
And which makes the level in reverse. You start at the end and you finish at
I
the start.
see.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought it just like
Okay.
flipped it in certain areas.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
that is cool.
Which is weird because a lot of times, in a level, you'll have to like fall really far to get to the next thing. Well, in reverse, how do you do that? So
What
that's
do
been
you
fun.
do?
It depends on the level. They're all
Oh
different.
boy, what a mystery.
Right? And then every flip side level has 3 Poochie pups,
I saw those. The
which you have to
Poochies.
find and collect. They are so cute.
3 of them.
And do those help you or do you just collect them?
No, it's just to collect them.
Oh, okay.
And as you know, we can't always play video games with sound on because of Fender.
Of course.
So I didn't realize that when you get close to them, they bark, and that's an easy way to find them.
Oh no.
Until I was playing once when he wasn't, or I was somewhere else, I guess, and realized that you don't necessarily see them yet, but you hear them barking, and that's how you know that they're in screen. So cute.
Your own real life Poochie pup who is
Yeah.
right behind
Ruined
me.
it.
Ruining it.
There are some levels where there's a big Poochie pup that you can ride.
Oh,
Like a
really?
giant
That's what you're thinking
one?
of.
Oh, that's fun that Yoshi gets to actually ride something instead of
It's
always
pretty
being
cute.
the one who's ridden.
And he just kind of like runs through stuff. You don't have to do anything, but so he'll be able to like burst through things that you can't get through on your own. And he jumps and stuff. And
And doing that, does that like if you're riding on Poochie Pup, does that then can you find other collectibles? Does like him busting through a wall, does that reveal other collectibles and stuff that
Sometimes.
you've missed before? Oh,
Sometimes.
that's cool.
I don't know that I've seen a Poochie pup that you ride in a flip side.
Do the
I
3
don't remember.
Poochie pups like combine at the end to become like a transformer?
Mega Poochie.
Yeah, Mega Poochie.
Sadly, no. Although,
What a bummer.
damn, that would be cute.
That would be really cute.
No, but when you find the 3 Poochie pups, you get a flower,
Oh,
which is another
boy.
thing you collect.
Are there 5 flowers per level, right?
They're all different.
Oh.
Some of them
Oh
have a
my
lot more.
goodness.
They're just sometimes like hidden behind things, and sometimes you have to shoot something down and get it. And one of the things that you can shoot is like a clock with wings or a cloud or something. I don't really remember. And usually those are on the normal side of the game, and when you shoot them, it takes you to the flip side for like 30 seconds, and there's a tiny mini game, to collect a special coin or something like that. And then when the timer is up, it flips back to normal. Where was I going with that? Oh, the flowers. So each level has normal coins to collect, red coins, not, like 20 of those or something. Hearts, which I think just give you life. I still haven't totally figured that out. Or give you health
don't those
back.
add to like your total score at the end of the level? And like you have to
Something like that.
finish with max health to like max out the heart for the end of that level?
I don't think it's max health. I think it's that there's a certain number in each level. I think there's like 20 hearts in each
Oh,
level.
you just have to find them. Okay.
At some point. So you
I-
don't
I-
even have to find, with all of these things, you don't even have to find them all in one. go at the level.
Right, you just have to
You
find
just have
them
to
total.
eventually, yeah.
I remember that from the demo, which I enjoyed greatly.
Demo was really fun. It's only like the first world or the first stage of the first world, the railroad,
it's so
the railroad
easy to-
one.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I was kind of playing through it. And I was like, I was same thing like you. When I was playing through this, I was like, okay, I get the appeal. It's fun. It's cute, but it's also does feel very easy, which I was also then slightly concerned about when I bought it for you, because I was like, you know,
I love an easy game.
You like the Marios and all that stuff, which can be very difficult right off the bat too. And so I was kind of like, I was worried about it actually being fun and you actually having fun with it.
No, it's definitely fun. The flip side, I think, is the funnest part, just because you get to see everything backward.
And just
I don't
gives
know,
like
it's just
each
kinda
level,
funny.
it's gives you like double playability for,
Right.
two for one basically.
Well, and when you play the normal side, you can tell that things are crafted, from junk, but you don't realize what they're made from all the time until you play the flip side. And then, like I said, you literally see that like that thing you jumped on was a coffee can covered in fabric or something, which is funny.
That's really funny. What a delightful idea. Like,
really is.
Yeah.
The sheer artistic direction of it, I think, is an achievement in and of itself, because it's unique. It's something you haven't seen before, and they managed to work it into the game design in a really neat and intuitive way. I love it.
It made me just want to play with construction paper, honestly.
Let's go do
Make
that.
your own little diorama, your own
Absolutely.
little level.
Let's quit
And I'd
this
hope it-
podcast and go craft.
I would hope that that's what it makes kids want to do, is just like, I don't know, make shit
Well,
out of shit.
Well, and what's cool though too about it is I know it's one of those things we couldn't hear as much because of like the noises and everything messing with Fender, but the music also amplifies that too. Is an example of that, of where everything that the music very much sounds like it was made by finding the like toy instruments and everything that you would find
Like
in
a
a kid's playroom, like a xylophone or
Like
recorder.
a dumb Jimmy Fallon thing he always does, where they play elementary school
Yeah,
instruments.
exactly. And so it just further builds on this, just like this, like fun crafted wonderland basically for Yoshi to run around in. So, spoiler alert, we'll be featuring a song from the soundtrack in our soundtrack spotlight once we're all done. And
What if we
wrapped up with all
didn't?
that.
What if it was like Doom?
Hell yeah, I'd definitely do some Doom. Man, I've been getting small side tangent here, but I've been getting hyped for some Doom Eternal because they've started releasing a lot of gameplay footage and stuff like that. I'm not watching it really because I want to be shocked and awed myself, but I still see like glimpses of it as I'm scrolling through Facebook, on YouTube, whatever, different things like that. And oh my God, I can't wait. But that's another
Can't
topic
relate.
for another time.
Back to Yoshi.
But back to Yoshi. But yeah, so the soundtrack, I was listening through it some more today just to get to listen to it a little bit. And it's just fun, delightful, and just totally matches.
Like bubbly and cute.
And it really is based off of like the same theme that just kind of goes over that like do 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 like over and over and stuff. It was so fun. It's just really cute. But yeah, so we'll be featuring that when we get to the close of the episode.
Soundtrack, by the way, is Kazafumi Umeda. That's the composer.
Oh yes, of course.
Yes, how could you not have known? What were you thinking? And then the artists, just because I see them listed and we got to shout them out, Ayano Otsuka is the lead artist credited.
Well, Fender shook in there is fur.
Yeah,
going
I can
everywhere
see that. It's like a
now.
blizzard in here.
See?
It's like really, they're all highlighted by the lights. But so you go through and you have all these different things you can collect and everything, and then so what are like your main enemies that you come up against? So you said you run into Shy Guys.
I wasn't done talking about things you collect.
Oh, sorry.
There's more, believe it or
Oh
not.
my God.
Yeah.
So
So
many
you know
things.
that every level has gold coins, red coins, hearts, and flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Again, some different numbers all the time, and you can collect them all. And I'm like nowhere near having collected all of those. But then also, as you beat a world, or as you beat maybe each level, there's this little robot-looking guy, again, made out of like trash and boxes and stuff, that wants to talk to you, and he requests souvenirs. So you go back into the level.
Yeah.
So he'll say like, the souvenir I want from this land are 5. I want 5 cows.
I think in
saw
the
a
demo
bunch.
he asked for like, oh yeah, it was cows.
I saw a bunch grazing in a field, so that tells you kind of where it is in the level. And he'll tell you if it's on the flip side or not. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. And then you go play the level again, and you shoot Yoshi eggs at 5 cows and catch them. And then I think he probably wants like 6 or 7 souvenirs from each world. So that alone is a lot of game as well.
And since you were talking about like shooting the eggs and everything like that, I liked from just a little bit I played in the demo just how that looks, because that is like one of the things that does take place in the 3D space and really utilizes the 3D design of these levels and everything, is that you can throw your Yoshi eggs like into the background. You can
Yeah.
throw them frontwards towards you and everything. So it's really fun when when it pulls up your little crosshair and everything, like moving it around and seeing what it highlights as things you can actually throw it at. And
Yeah,
then
'cause
like
a
seeing
lot
some
of-
of it like knock down a ladder and like this cardboard like rope ladder unfolding
you
and
saw
stuff
some
like
of
that. Yeah, that stuff's really cool.
And there's always random stuff in the background that if you shoot an egg at it, it gives you coins and sometimes flowers are hiding behind them. But it could literally be anything. At any given point on the screen, if like in the railroad one, for example, that it sounds like you both played, behind you is like grass and maybe trees and clouds in the sky and maybe a sun even and cows and plants, all kinds of shit that you can shoot an egg at and it may have something in it. There's even presents in some. I mean, literally like a little present box.
that's fun.
Yeah.
It is really interesting how they managed to make that switch from the kind of more 2D perspective of traditional Mario games to so fluidly move into that 3D space in a way that does
yeah.
actually feel natural to the game. I think they did that really well.
There's a lot of stuff.
Because it's not necessarily even through like camera angle changing really, because it's still you pretty much see him from the side. I know there are a couple of times where he'll like you can go up the path and you'll like see him from behind, or he'll come
And if
towards
you ride
the
the
screen.
train, sometimes you're riding a boat and that kind of changes views sometimes.
So it's not like Mario 64, for example, where you like can turn the camera all the way around you. You're still
Yeah.
looking from the same angle, but they were designing it in such a fun way where you're able to like feel like in a 3D space.
I think in some of the 3D spaces, the camera angle does kind of go up a little bit more for kind of more of a top-in view, as I recall, just to give you a little bit more of that depth to play with.
Yeah.
I think.
Some.
So a little bit, but yeah, I mean, because that makes sense. Depending on some, I mean, it's like anything. Sometimes it can make it harder to see things and everything like that, depending on how, like, if you do get super close to the screen and everything like that. Where was I going with this after that?
Oh, you were gonna ask me about bad guys?
Yes, yeah. So I know you mentioned Shy Guys and different things like that. So like, what do you fight like any of Bowser's children and everything like that? Since he's one of the ones at the beginning who takes all the gems and everything like that, or is it?
That's Bowser's child who takes the gems.
I think
at the
so.
beginning? Okay, well he's the main bad guy.
Okay.
So it's not Bowser, I guess.
Okay,
Oh, it's Baby Bowser.
I don't know. It just
Bowser
looks like
Jr.?
Bowser.
I'll look it up real quick.
Guys, I don't remember.
That's fine. But yeah, so other than like the Shy Guys and stuff like that, who else do you really go against, or like
like
what?
the same. You mean just like walking in? God, there really is fur
Yeah,
flying.
it went everywhere.
You mean just like walking through a level, not just bosses?
Yeah,
It's the same stuff.
like what can damage you basically?
Fireballs. There's flying
Piranha
fish.
Plants. Piranha plants, I think.
Piranha plants. The Shy Guys will hurt you if you don't eat them. Turtles. There's all kinds.
Koopas.
The normal
Anything
stuff.
that's normal in a Mario game.
Nice. Okay. So I guess any other like.
I think that was all my notes.
Okay, but yeah, just like overall, like so super fun crafted experience. But just like what about it really would be like the number one thing that really sells the game for you?
Yeah, don't put words in her mouth,
I'm
Jerrett.
not. That's what I'm
You never
asking
know.
her.
She might change her mind here at the very end and tell us it's a garbage game.
No, I really love it. I was questioning its ease at first.
Goodness.
Sorry.
But then it became like a normal. I don't know. I just like games like that are easy to do, that are mindless.
Yeah, a nice
I
little.
mean, they don't require
obviously is
critical
why I
thinking in
don't
most
remember.
cases.
yeah, it's
All the specifics.
I mean, because normally you would come home like after work or whatever, or on a weekend, or in your hammock and stuff like that, and just be like chilling and relaxing and everything. And that's
Yeah.
and that's what I remember when I asked you about it. I was like, "Is it okay that it's not like super hard?" And you're like, "No, it's great because I just sit here and play it, and I
Yeah.
don't think about it, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
relaxing.
Yeah, and it's actually like a very relaxing
and
time.
it is really cute.
Yeah, it really is. I do really enjoy the art style of it.
It
I
seems like a
also
very spiritually cleansing game.
I also like knowing what all there is to gather. I feel like in the what's the Mario game that I went so ham on when we first got it?
Odyssey.
I guess. Going in, you don't really know what all there is to do. You kind of
Oh,
discover
there were like
things.
hidden things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tons of hidden stuff that you don't even know are things you're supposed to be doing. It's pretty clearly laid out that every level has these things. Go back and you'll learn about the souvenirs. There's a boss. So again, you just don't really have to think about it. The game
Cool.
kind of gives you everything you need to know.
I like that too. Fender agrees.
Fender loves
He loves it,
Yoshi.
yeah.
He loves Yoshi.
Fender, come here. Quit barking. What you barking at?
He's just woofing.
You just woofing.
Being a silly bub.
Somebody out there?
No?
He
Nobody
says,
there?
"Let free me, free me, mother."
He's being free. He has this
Let
whole
me
house to
out.
walk around in. He can do whatever he damn well pleases. Well, If you don't have any other thoughts on it, I guess really, but
I'll report back when I finally beat the boss.
Okay.
Yeah, let us know.
so I guess if you had to like put a rank, or would you recommend it? I guess
A
basically.
million, yeah.
Yeah.
How many yarn spools?
All of them.
All of them.
100 out of 100 yarn spools. Well, if you have played Yoshi's Crafted World, we would love to hear your thoughts on
Or
it.
Yoshi's Woolly World.
Or
Yeah.
Yoshi's Woolly World. Yeah, we got to figure out a way for you to be able to play that one too. Or you have other thoughts on the Pocket Camp updates that Mogan was sharing with us earlier. We would love to hear from you. So send us an email at teamchatpodcast@gmail.com. Comment below on the YouTube video or on social media. Send us a message on the Discord server because we'd really love you to join us there too. But before we go, like I said, we do have to do our soundtrack spotlight, which we are focusing or featuring music from Yoshi's Crafted World. We're going to be playing the title theme because I think it's a quick song. I want to say it's only like a minute and a half total in length, but it really does highlight all the things we were talking about with the music of the more of like the childlike craft room feel, toy room feel, really. And so it's just a delightful little ditty. Again, that is composed by Kazafumi Umeda. And the song is the title theme from Yoshi's Crafted World. But thanks for joining us in this episode of Team Chat Podcast, everybody. Thanks to Sam for joining us as our
Thank you,
special
Sam.
guest for this episode.
Absolutely.
It was wonderful having you on.
Thank you.
But
Can I
until-
borrow Yoshi?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, is that a thing?
Oh, wait, it's a
If
digital download.
Maybe she can like sign in on
Darn
yours
it.
or whatever. We'll figure it out.
Anyways.
We'll figure it out. Just come over and play it sometime, you know. But until next time, everybody, I'm one of your hosts, Jerrett Wilson, joined by Rachel Mogan.
Adios.
And of course, my beautiful bride, Samantha White-Wilson.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you all next week for another fun gaming topic. Until then, stick around for the song.